Good evening. Coming up next on...
Whatever Miss Shields wants or needs to say will be said in court, if this case ever comes to trial.
Do you have anything you'd like to say to me, Roxanne?
You bet I do. I would like to
hear. You work too hard.
Roxanne, we
You heard what Mr. Mason said.
I was talking to her. Roxanne.
Excuse me.
Hey.
I said excuse me.
What did you see? So where to?
Ted Main's apartment. We'll drop you off first.
Hi, going up to see somebody?
Yeah, my name's Ken Molansky, and this is...
Harry Mason. I've got a thing for faces. Jamie Morrissey, how you doing?
We have permission to examine Mr. Main's apartment.
Go right ahead. Oh, no. You gotta use the penthouse elevator over there.
All right, thanks.
Mr. Morrissey, you mentioned in your statement to the police that you saw a woman in a red dress get on the elevator.
That's right.
The penthouse elevator?
Yeah.
Did she seem to know where it was?
Went straight to it.
Did you see anyone else you didn't recognize down here that night?
As a matter of fact, there was somebody. Guy, kind of tall, dark, good-looking, but mean-looking, too. I know him from someplace. Like I said, I got this thing for faces.
Why didn't you mention that in your statement?
Police never asked. They just wanted to know about the woman.
Thank you, Mr. Morrissey.
Well, there's nothing in here that wasn't in the police report.
Ken, I've seen this place before, and I'm not talking about the photos taken by the police. Take a look in Main's book, the pictures.
This picture of Roxanne, it was taken in here. Right there on the couch.
That's right.
What a sleaze.
Yep. The system was put in to record his meetings with mobsters. He probably figured out the other uses for the camera later on.
A lot of those pictures were taken in here. And unless Maine brought those women up here blindfolded, all of them would know where that elevator was. The killer could be one of them.
I've already asked Ella to do some background research on those ladies.
Her birthday's coming up, you know.
I know.
What are you gonna get her?
I'm keeping that a secret.
You mean you don't know yet?
I'm also keeping that a secret. Thanks.
Here's the idea. Roxanne Shields has Perry Mason, one of the most successful defense attorneys anywhere, right? The police have their suspect. They've made their case. They're through. But meanwhile, Mason is out looking for anything he can find to help get his client off. All he needs to show is reasonable doubt.
Which is a pretty tall order in this case.
Yes, but not impossible, especially not for Mason.
All right, so just what is it you are proposing?
Let me run an investigation parallel to Mason's. I'll be on top of everything he finds. We can keep the prosecution up to speed on what he's got. And that way we will have a pretty hot story.
I am not at all certain about the ethics of this thing. Laura, I'll defer to you.
I knew the real Ted Main, not just the showman. Everybody thought that was all there was to him. I loved him. I don't want Perry Mason to get Roxanne Shields off if she's guilty. But if she didn't do it, I'd sure as hell like to know who did. I think we should do it.
know, we got the party scene, we got the restaurant scene, we got the living room. But I wonder if her orange dress is going to clash with those red and white tablecloths, but...
Ms. Kingsley, I'm Roxanne Shields' attorney. My name's Mason. Do you have time for some questions?
Of course. You want to give me just about 5 minutes? So, questions about Ted and me.
Basically, yes.
Well, why don't you just read his book?
I did. I take it your relationship was short-lived.
Well, I discovered fairly quickly he liked a lot of ladies. And I didn't like that.
You still produce his show.
I produce several shows here. My personal feelings don't enter into it.
You were angry when you learned that you were in the book?
I was upset, yes.
You had a very angry public argument with him the day he was murdered.
Well, he wanted to use my picture in the show he was doing that day on his book. I objected.
Where were you between 8 and 9 o'clock that night?
I was right here, going over costumes for a special that I'm producing.
Ever wear red, Miss Kingsley?
Rarely.
But if you wanted to wear red, a dress, for instance, you'd know right where to come, wouldn't you? Yep.
Hey, Della, any messages?
Yeah. Here they are.
Thanks.
Oh, Perry wants you to look at what I found on Mary Singer. It's in his office.
All right.
There you are.
And where's the rest of it?
That's it. You know, in his book, Ted Main described her as a high-fashion photographer he met at the Regis Hotel. No agency's ever heard of her.
Did you check the agencies in New York?
Chicago, Los Angeles, everywhere. It's like she didn't exist.
Well, Ted Main sure is kissing somebody in this picture.
If her real name is Mary Singer, I'll eat my hat. If I had one.
What's with the outfit? You trying to get into another book?
Don't be cute, Paulie. Where have you been?
Don't worry about it.
If I'm supposed to let you know my every move, then I'd like to know yours.
Just leave it alone.
What are you up to? What's the gun for?
It's none of your business. Because of what you did, sooner or later, they're gonna come looking. And when they do, I'm gonna be ready. Sweet.
What's most important to you?
My wife. We've been married for 31 years.
32. Definitely these guys. What's most important? Jack, of course.
My granddaughter, Susan. The new Ford Crown Victoria now offers anti-lock brakes with traction assist and dual airbags. Because shouldn't your car know what's important to you?
Have you driven a Ford lately?
I'm home. There you guys are. Hiya, honey.